Hola, Gabón. Venga, vamos a Ernesto Valverde en prensa Rejuagas. Vamos con la rueda de prensa de Ernesto Valverde.
Buenas noches.
Me habían dicho que se le
Vale.
Sí.
Ahí está.
Vale. Venga, empezamos. Yanire, Mercedes.
Ernesto Gabón, Yanire Fragua de Euskal Telebista. Ayer, no sé si premonitoriamente hablabas de apagón. En 10 minutos, 3 goles, marcar 3 goles.
A blackout, having been scored 3 goals. There's a bit of a blackout, the fact that we got scored 3 goals. Well, it's true. We haven't managed the goal, the fact that we conceded a goal, especially in the second play with the penalty and the sending off, which hurt us a lot and has conditioned the whole match. In 11 against 11, we were doing well. We were getting to the box clearly. We have had 2 very clear chances, and we didn't score, but they did. And then we had the penalty that has had an effect on the entire match. Radio Popular, Ernesto Jimenez, I'm going to ask about that penalty. There was a potential handball by Garnage, and then there was the red card. You didn't understand at the bench what was going on. It has marked the entire playoff. Well, the playoff has not finished yet. We have challenged a previous handball by Garnacho. We thought that it had hit his hand, and we believe that, something that the referee needs to assess, and the play continued, and that's what we challenged. But it's the ref who needs to referee. And it's being too much of a punishment, not only by the fact that they were going to be 0-2 down, but because we had to play with 1 man down. So we have felt that, of course. José Manuel Mojanda from Onda Vasca, with everything that has happened and the misses, the sending off, how was the first goal? It's a midfielder that goes as a winger, and then, well, the midfielder is a good player, and when you get beaten by the opponent and you get beaten 3 down, that's because they got the things right, and we were good at certain times, and in the pitch, the things that have happened in the pitch, it was an unfortunate play for us, the first goal. But Manchester United type of teams, they have no mercy, and they're very confident. They're very confident, especially with the final third, and that's how they play. And we need to learn from that, and that's what football is about. Alberto Negro from Radio Euskadi, you have generated a lot of chances over the first 30 minutes. Can we draw the conclusion that we can, despite a very harsh score, we can lift the team, and the supporters cheered on the team? Of course, this is a very bad result, and that's what we take to Old Trafford, a very bad result from here. But we need to play that match. We are not going to give anything for granted, or that the fact that we think we're going to lose. We have a very adverse result, and we know who we have to play against. But we feel that when we are playing 11 against 11, there was a difference more in our favour than in their favour. The penalty has had a lot of impact. Rather the first goal, that pressure, we were not able to absorb that pressure. We were a bit doubtful at that point. Hi, Ernesto. Cadena Ser y Radio Euskadi. given the context of the semi-final, because the final will take place in Bilbao, and considering the result, is probably one of your hardest nights as the head coach of Athletic? No, by no means. Well, maybe in some time I will say the opposite, but right now, no, I don't think so. There are matches where you play poorly or everything goes the other way. Well, of course we did things poorly at some points, but I think that we were on a, we did perform. It was very difficult or hard because we wanted to get to the final. We want to get to the final. But right from the beginning of the season, the final being at your stadium doesn't mean that you have an advantage. Of course, is a motivation, an extra motivation, but you have to play against very good teams. And in all the matches that we've played, if you are able to finalize the chances and the opponent does finalize the score, the chances is what happens. And it seems that it's easy, but it is not easy. Football is as it is. There are good teams, good players, and they don't miss. And we need to accept things, we need to improve and move forward. Green Doyle, what did you tell the players when you got to the dressing room? And what can we tell fans and those that are going to travel to Old Trafford to cheer the team? What could you tell them? When you go into a stadium, I know that I can win, draw or lose. There are those possibilities. I love to win, but there's a possibility to lose and to get a draw. But when you learn, when you're in my position, is to take on things, to accept things when things happen and to try to improve them. Those of us, those who has seen us, when we've been 11 against 11, the team has been performing well with the intention to win and with the chances to win too. Defeats are always hard. And at Old Trafford we're going to try and do the same. We're going to try and win, as we always do. We might be fortunate or not. They have some players that are good. The midfielder can do a very good cross out from the corner. When you think that he's not going to do it, there's going to be another controversial play in the second half when they grab Marwan. Is that a red card or not a red card? Well, I'm the head coach. I'm the coach. Sometimes it's difficult to accept some decisions when they are against me. Well, if you ask me, I would say there's not a penalty, that Vivian shouldn't have been sent off, and we would have won the match. That's what I said. I don't know. So it's true that we challenged the decision. In our opinion, it was a foul. I don't know whether it was red or not. Thank you.
Okay, if you can wait for the microphone to get your questions. Start you with Sandy.
Hi Ruben, congratulations. That was a massive win on the road in Europe, but what was your message to the players after the match?
I think they have to think about the second leg, and they have to think more about the first 20 minutes than the rest of the game, because the game is going to be really tough. There is no goals away, so anything can change, and that is my message to the players. And we have to think about now for Brentford and then for the second leg.
Rob.
I appreciate that you've got to be quite cautious because of the second game at Old Trafford, but is that the best performance, best result of your time
in charge here?
No, I think it's the best result because nobody expect this result. But again, I think you saw two games today. The first 25 minutes and then after the goal, and also with the send-off, the game changed. That was a good thing. Also a good thing in the second half, we tried to be cautious. We create chances, but the most important thing is that the opponent didn't get shots, many shots to our goal, and that was really important.
Thank you. Hi. I think it's often missed that it's actually quite a young squad that you've got. But tonight, thinking Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Harry Maguire, there was huge performances from some of the more experienced players. How important was that tonight?
It's really important, and they have to step up in these moments. So they are experienced, they are international players, they already played these moments, so they have to step up in these moments. That's why they are playing here, and they are the most experienced players in this team. So I think that is natural.
Hi, Ruben. When your team play with such fluency like they did tonight, and the sort of fearlessness, how is it that they can lose almost half their games in the Premier League and then come out and put a performance on like that?
I think it's hard to explain. We improved in the last games. I don't look just to the results. We had some games that we won that we didn't play well, and some games that we lost but we played well. And sometimes you just need a little bit luck. If you imagine the first 30 minutes, they have chances to score. If they score, it's a different game. So we need to understand these moments. And when we score, we felt more free to play. So I know that is hard. It's a different competition. I know that is hard to understand, but sometimes it's the context, it's the way we see things. We can win this competition, and in Premier League we are just suffering after game. So and try to manage these both things with some injuries. Sometimes it's hard even for the players.
Yeah, hi Ruben. You talked about the first 30 minutes, and in that time Victor Lindelof made a really big goal line clearance. I mean, how important was that? And for him personally, you know, he's obviously not been in the team all the season, maybe leaving in the summer. What kind of a moment was that for him?
Yeah, it's a moment, but we need to focus on the second leg, and then in the final, if we get there, was a moment important for him. But also he is also an experienced player. He's fighting for the team, and these guys want to give something to our fans, because you can see every week, no matter what happened in Premier League, our fans, you feel always the support. So we want to give them something. So it was an important moment for him, but more important for the team.
Ruben, what can you say about Harry Maguire? He had a tough time before you came to the club, got himself back in the team, scored the winning goal against Lyon, and then plays an important part in the first goal tonight. I think it's a good lesson for all the players, that sometimes you have some moments that you think that I will never recover from this or that. Anything can happen, and I think it's not just Harry. The history of this game can tell you that. It looks like really we are struggling a lot, and then everything changed, and everybody's going to say it was maybe the best game of the season. So we have to understand that the players have some moments in their lives that they have to just to continue to work. Everything can change.
Good evening, Ruben. We ask you so much about Rasmus Højlund and the goals and the numbers, but tonight, what his contributions won't come up on the stats sheet. You know, he wins the penalty, he plays a part in the third goal. So how pleased are you for him, and can that be a sign that he can show that improvement and that will equate to goals eventually? I think
it's hard to say, but I think it was the best game that he had with me as a coach. He helped a lot the team. He secured the ball, and then he made the runs, and then decide quite well. So it's a good moment for him. But like Harry, he needs to understand everything can change. So let's focus on the next one. This is in the past. We have a tough job to do on Sunday, and especially on Thursday.
Okay, that concludes the post-match press conference. We'll now take some questions to preview